With Megan Knight in downtown Baltimore. Megan, the governor responded to President Trump's criticism in a letter to the president. What's in it?
Well, Christian, in that letter, Governor Hogan thanked President Trump for now allowing him to use those federal testing sites for the coronavirus that are here in our state. Some of them include the Aberdeen Proving Ground in Fort Meade and Fort Detrick, just to name a couple of them. Now, Governor Hogan also wrote in the letter that back on March 15th, he, along with the governor of Virginia and D.C.'s mayor, had requested that they be able to use those sites for testing. Hogan said during a news conference on Monday that those federal sites at the time were off limits for Maryland to use. And then during a call with White House officials, including the vice president, those sites were listed as available to Maryland, but Governor Hogan corrected them, saying that they were in fact federal testing sites, not sites for Maryland to use. Well, that set off President Trump, who then criticized Hogan about the testing sites. He also made comments about Hogan purchasing tests from South Korea. Well, Hogan made a number of appearances on national television yesterday, including on the talk show The View here on ABC, where he said that in his opinion, the issue is not so much about having access to the labs as it is about having enough testing kits.
The number one problem in America from the beginning of this crisis has been the lack of available testing, and that's been a problem. Every single governor in the country has had that, Republicans and Democrats, and the smokescreen yesterday was about labs. That has nothing to do with test kits. But the test kits that nobody had enough of, the president told us to go out and get on our own. Governors have been fighting to get those from every domestic company in America.
Yeah, and Hogan had thanked President Trump on Twitter for making those federal testing sites available so he can use those testing kits he got from South Korea. Now, another big issue, of course, surrounding the coronavirus pandemic is when businesses will be allowed to reopen. We saw those protests in Annapolis over the weekend. Governor Larry Hogan did talk about that on The View yesterday, saying that his team will be making an announcement later this week to talk about their strategy for reopening Maryland, but he doesn't want people to get too hopeful that it's going to happen soon, like we're seeing in other states, because the number of COVID-19 cases continues to go up in Maryland. We need to see them start going back down before we can start thinking about businesses reopening. Live in downtown Baltimore, Megan Knight, WMAR 2.